Welcome to the second race of Allied Downhill Racing. After Noah Gregson got his first win in the first race of the Allied Cup Series, we have a different track and different paint schemes as well today. So first up, we have Noah Gregson and JJ Yeley, first and second place from last race. There you go, JJ Yeley out into the early lead. He went a decent ways. See if anybody can take it away from the lead. Take him away from the lead. Excuse me. This is mustard. Anyways, next up we have Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. So see how those go. Chase Elliott flips upside down off of the track. That is not how he wanted to start his day. He will most likely not be in the next round. As we had 3 cars do that in the last race, so guess it's pretty common. Next we have Michael McDowell and Corey LaJoie. Let's see how they do. Corey LaJoie flips upside down. Michael McDowell does not get that much better of a run. Still in front of Chase Elliott though. Next up, we have Austin Cindric and Landon Castle. So, can either of them take the lead from JJ Yeley? No, they don't. But Austin Cindric jumps up into second, and Landon Castle in third. So, pretty good run by those. Next, we have Jimmy McMurray and Kurt Busch. So let's see how they do. Kurt Busch moves up into second. Jimmy McMurray back down in 7th place, the last in the main pack. So good for them. Show more of the. There we go. Now next, we have Garrett Smithley and Ryan Blenny, who's running a new paint scheme today. So let's see how these two fare. Garrett Smithley goes up in front of his teammate into first place. Ryan Blenny, a couple car lengths off the back of Jamie McMurray. So pretty good run by those two. Next we have Matt Benedetto and Chris Buescher. So here we go. Chris Buescher jumps up into 6th place, just in front of Noah Gregson, your last week's winner. Matt Benedetto off the back bumper of his affiliated teammates, Ryan Blaney. Next we have William Byron and Cole Custer. Both of them terrible run outside of the top 8. Both of them nearly spun out, so pretty bad run by those two. Next we have Austin Dillon, also known as Mickey and Jeffy Show, and Matt Benedetto, Casey Kane, excuse me. So yeah, here we go. Austin Dillon just outside of the top 8. He will not be moving on, but Garrett Smithley still your leader in front of JJ Yeley, Kurt Busch, Austin Cindric, and Landon Castle. Those are your top 5. Next we have Chase Briscoe and Alex Bowman. Chase Briscoe hits the bottom of the ramp and flips off the track. Alex Bowman fails to make it into the top 8. He sits behind Casey Kane and Matt Benedetto. Next we have Joey Logano, who's running a different pace scheme, and Kyle Larson. So let's see how these two go. Neither of them had a very good run last week, so still failed to do it this week as Joey Logano turns right into Kyle Larson and spins out in front of him, ending both of their runs. I moved Chase Briscoe a little bit on accident. So I just moved him in front. Next we have Kyle Busch and Anthony Alfredo. So let's see how these two fare. Both have abysmal runs compared to the rest of the pack. Joe Gibbs Racing has just not been fast this year. I keep stepping on that. But anyway, Joe Gibbs Racing, like I said, has not had a good run yet. Haven't made it to the top 8 at all. This is Ryan Newman and Tyler Reddick. Ryan Newman turns right into Kyle Busch. Tyler Reddick in front of Kyle Busch. Both outside of the top 8, so they fail to move on. Next we have Daniel Suarez and BJ McLeod. See how these two fare. Daniel Suarez in different paint schemes, so let's see how he goes. Daniel Suarez up into the lead in front of Garrett Smithley. BJ McLeod well outside of the top 8. BJ McLeod will not move on. Now we have two more Toyotas of Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell. So let's see how these two go. Bubba Wallace barely outside of the top 8. He is running 9th. Tough break for that. That would have been Toyota's first entrance into the top 8. Just terrible run. Heartbreaking. Now next we have Eric Jones and Martin Truex Jr. So let's see how these two go. Like I said, Toyota's not doing very well at all. Both of them. There's only one more left, and that would be the 11 of Denny Hamlin. So hope for the best, I guess, Toyota. Next we have Eric Almirola and Kevin Harvick, both Stewart Haas teammates, so can either of them make it into the top 8 and knock someone out? Kevin Harvick nearly makes it into the top 8. He jumps ahead of Bubba Wallace in 9th. Eric Almirola fails to make it to the top 8 or anywhere close. Next we have Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Can either of them in the final run make it to the top 8? Neither of them make it. And Brad Keselowski well off. Daniel Suarez, your round 1 winner. And here's your finishing positions. Daniel Suarez, of course, in first. And then just find your car as I go down. And then back there, Chase Elliott finishing dead last. Tough break for him. Excuse me while I set up the cars. And here's your top 8. Daniel Suarez finishing first in round 1. Then Garrett Smithley, J.J. Yaley, Kurt Busch, Austin Cindric, Landon Castle, Chris Buescher, I'm sorry, and Noah Gragson, making his second appearance in the round of 8 after coming off of a win. And Austin Cindric and Landon Castle both making appearances, along with J.J. Yaley, who actually finished second last race. So look for them to make some good runs. Now starting with your first few cars out, you have Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Jimmy McMurray, and Austin Dillon. Tough break for those guys. Look forward to running next race, but sadly you won't be in this race anymore. Now here we go, the 8 cars loaded into the race track, and Noah Gragson and Chris Buescher will be your first out. So for them to set the field, here we go. Noah Gragson jumps out in front of Chris Buescher. Looking forward to or making an attempt to maintain that lead as the other 6 cars go. Next we have Landon Castle and Austin Cindric. Neither of them can knock out Noah Gragson or Chris Buescher, so here we go. Landon Castle jumps up in front of Noah Gragson. Austin Cindric well behind Chris Buescher. On a single final line right now. Next we have J.J. Yaley and Kurt Busch. Can neither of them knock out Austin Cindric or Chris Buescher? Both of them crash out J.J. Yaley finishes well behind Kurt Busch, but neither of them will make it into the top 8 as they both crash out of this race. Now next we have Garrett Smithley and Daniel Suarez. Neither of them knock out Chris Buescher or Austin Cindric. So Daniel Suarez will fail to make it to the top 4 to compete for a win. Garrett Smithley, however, jumps up in front of Landon Castle to take the lead, and he will move on. But tough break for J.J. Yaley and Ross Chastain as they didn't even get a chance to move on. So here's your top 4. Garrett Smithley, of course, in first. Then you have Landon Castle, Noah Gragson, and Chris Buescher. Tough break for Daniel Suarez as he veered off track. Austin Cindric, he just got passed by Daniel Suarez. He had no chance at all. Then Ross Chastain and J.J. Yaley, or Kurt Busch, excuse me, both of them crashing out. Tough break for them. Now, which one of these 4 drivers can make it on into the next race? Excuse me, to win this race. All right, the 4 cars are loaded into the track, and you have Noah Gragson and Chris Buescher first going down the track. Noah Gragson making his second Final Four appearance in a row in the first 2 races, so let's see how they go. Chris Buescher flips upside down. He goes nowhere. And then you have Noah Gragson jumping well in front of him. Chris Buescher will most likely finish 4th this race. Tough break for him. Justin, I make Chris Buescher. I keep messing up his name. And next we have Landon Castle and Garrett Smith. Can either of them overtake the 88 to take this win? And it's Garrett Smithley winning your second race of the season, about a car length in front of Noah Gragson. So good race for him. Chris Buescher wrecks out of the first race, finishes upside down. And Landon Castle finishing 3rd. Good run for him after the bounce back of last week, getting knocked out in the 2nd round. So Garrett Smithley well in front of Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson, of course, in 2nd. He will be your points leader after this, so good for him. And then you have Landon Castle, Chris Buescher way out there. He finishes 4th. Really good run. Garrett Smithley, I think, made it to the round 8. He might not have last race, so good for him. Finishing results will be in a separate video. So, and points standings in the base of this video, so, description. So, race 3 looking to be later this week, and I'm sorry for the delayed race 2. So, let's keep going, and I'll see you guys next time.